Welcome to the Overgivers Anonymous podcast. My name is Angela Mondor, also known as the Geeky Girl. In this podcast, we're going to be talking about some amazing things to help you get over overgiving. Hi, and welcome to this episode of the Overgivers Anonymous podcast. My name is Angela Mondor, and I'm also known as the Geeky Girl. You might notice there's a bit of a different vibe here today, and I'll tell you right now that this is going to be a short one. You might say, why? And I'm going to be completely transparent with you today. It is because I am currently healing from a concussion. We had a car accident on May 31st. I am doing better, but it is taking time. You know, anybody who's ever dealt with a brain injury, even just a brain that works differently, you know, if you've been through it, that recovery isn't linear, that it definitely doesn't play nice with to-do lists, and here we are. So the sneaky thing about a concussion is that you can feel fine in the morning, and then suddenly midday, it's like, nope, that's enough for now, and you're totally tanked for the day. So for someone like me who's a neurodivergent entrepreneur, who has high energy, and I'm full of ideas all the time, it has been extremely frustrating. It's also been an emotional roller coaster. I didn't realize the amount of emotions involved in this. You know, going from being extremely sad to being very angry. That's all part of the healing process here as the brain decides to make its trek to healing. And so I'm having to give myself patience and provide myself with some grace, which I always encourage everyone to do as well. So it's my turn to take my knowledge and learning and apply it to me. So, but here's the part that I'm grateful for. I am super, super grateful for my team. I'm grateful for my family, my friends, the support that I have from the insurance company even. But my business is really, really grateful for my team. And my business is still running. I couldn't do it without my team. My clients are still being cared for, not just looked after, but they're being cared for. And it's not because I'm pushing through, because I'm not. I check in with my team members in the morning and see if there's any fires. But for the most part, I have to just let it go. But because I've built this team that's empowered to lead, to troubleshoot, and to take the reins without micromanaging every click and every keystroke that they do, that is the key indicator of how amazing my team is. And I encourage people to build teams like this, because the way I built this team isn't by accident. It happened because I invested time in training them, mentoring them, and sharing my knowledge before I needed to step away. I encouraged them to be empowered and to take chances on their own as well. That's important. And because I did it before I needed them, that's why it's been as seamless as it has been. If I had kept all the important information locked in my brain, oh God, that would be, if I held all my cards too close to my chest. I mean, this brain has not been functioning really well for darn near 2 weeks now. So it is really important. You know, we talk about this, if you ever get hit by a bus theory, it's even as small as having an accident. And I appreciate my accident. It was decent enough, but you never know what's going to come down the pipe where you're going to need to have somebody to help you out. So my business would have stalled if I didn't look after my team this way, and if I didn't bring them into the circle the way that I have. Clients would be waiting for things. There would be a ton of things sitting waiting to go, and I wouldn't be able to get to them, or I'd be trying to get to them, or I'd be frustrated even more because I knew that I was letting people down. And my healing, it would have taken a total backseat. I totally would have done what I could to get through, which would of course means that the healing would take even longer. Even as I'm talking to you now, I can feel some symptoms showing back up again, so it's time for me to call this quits. But I got to tell you that your biggest takeaway, I hope, from this is that you train your team before you need them. You share your systems, build trust, offer them the ability to be empowered, and allow them to do those things so that if you ever need it, and I hope you never do, but if you ever need it, they're there for you. And let's be honest, even if it just means you get to go on vacation, I mean, that's a win all by itself. You could flip this. Like, it doesn't have to be when something catastrophic happens. It could be just, hey, I want to go on a cruise and I don't have internet. Because one day there's something that's going to happen and you're going to need them. So it doesn't have to be a concussion. It doesn't have to be burnout or a family emergency. It could be just for fun too. And you'll be glad that you've built a team like this. Because when it happens, when it could be an opportunity or a catastrophic thing, you will be so glad that you did this. And so this episode is short because of that. I'm giving myself permission to rest. And you know what? Honestly, that's a win. It's beautiful to know that I can go and have a nap, or I can go lay down in a dark room, and I don't have to worry about this pressure of the things that aren't getting done, because they are getting done. And because healing is part of being a rock star business owner, that is what's important. So thanks for being here. I'll be back soon, brain willing. We'll see what next week brings for us. I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you so much for listening to the Overgivers Anonymous podcast. Your support means the world to me. You can find show notes for this episode and other goodies at overgiversanonymous.ca. And if you enjoyed this episode, or you enjoyed the podcast in general, why not join us in the Overgivers Anonymous Facebook group, where you can connect with overgivers from all over the world. Head on over to geekygirl.ca/group.